So there is an important attempt to expand the injunctions which were granted against the ATF and their pistol brace rule. And the goal is to expand those injunctions so that millions of other gun owners will now be covered. So let's talk about this. But real quick before we jump into this video, if you think the ATF needs to be abolished, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Also, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Kershaw Knives. Kershaw Knives makes some of the best knives available on the market for an EDC knife if you're looking for something like that. And just recently, Kershaw dropped a new 2023 line of knives. I carry one of those new knives. It's the Iridium. I carry it every single day. I love their knives. And right now, if you go to their website and order and you use the code 23scholar20, you can get 20% off of your order and free shipping on orders of $100 or more. So head on over to Kershaw Knives, pick yourself up a quality EDC knife and use that code. So like I mentioned in prior videos discussing the ATF's pistol brace rule, things are going to be very dynamic, things are going to change quite often, and we have a new update for you. You may remember from our last video, we talked about how the 5th Circuit 3-judge panel issued an injunction and clarification in the FPC lawsuit Mock v. Garland. In that recent order and clarification, the 5th Circuit panel stated that an injunction was in fact granted in favor of the plaintiffs in that specific case. Then the question was whether FPC and its members were protected by that injunction. A clarification was issued by the 5th Circuit, and the 5th Circuit stated that the members of FPC would be covered. Well, after the 5th Circuit issued that clarification, GOA and its members got an injunction protecting them, and then also SAF and its members got a similar injunction. Well, we received news that now the biggest Second Amendment organization, the NRA, has finally jumped into this fight. The NRA has filed a motion to intervene in the SAF v. Garland case. Now, you may be asking yourself, what does this mean? What does a motion to intervene mean? What does it do? And why is this important? In simplest terms, a motion to intervene is when someone who is not originally a party to a lawsuit submits a request to the court and they are asking to join the case as a new party. Here, the NRA is seeking to join the SAF lawsuit as a named plaintiff because they allege that the NRA has over 350,000 members within the state of Texas who they would like to represent in this case, and also they have millions of other members nationwide who have an interest in this case. In the motion, the NRA is also requesting a preliminary injunction be expanded to cover them, their organization, and their members. The goal with this is to get the similar injunction that FPC, GOA, and SAF have already received. In their motion to intervene and their motion for a preliminary injunction, the NRA states that the NRA seeks to intervene in the above-styled action to protect the interests of its approximately 350,000 Texas members and its over 4 million members across the nation against the infringement of their constitutional rights by the ATF. In particular, the NRA seeks to intervene to obtain preliminary and ultimately permanent injunctive relief, restraining defendants, the ATF and the DOJ, from enforcing the final rule. The irreparable harm facing the NRA's members can be prevented by this court in the same way the court has already protected the Second Amendment Foundation and its members by granting preliminary injunctive relief. In accordance with Rule 24 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, and for the reasons stated in the NRA's brief, the court should grant the NRA's motion and permit it to intervene as a matter of right, or alternatively, permit permissive intervention so that the NRA can protect its members from the unconstitutional infringement of their rights through the application to them of the final rule. Further, the NRA and its members should be granted the same preliminary injunctive relief as the SAF and its members. So in this motion, the NRA is seeking to join SAF in the case as a named plaintiff, and they also want to receive an injunction to protect their members. Obviously, if that happens, that would be huge because whatever your feelings are about the NRA, I have very specific feelings about the NRA. I've been very vocal about my feelings about the NRA. They are the largest organization right now in the 2A space, and they likely have the largest membership out of any of these 2A organizations. An injunction in their favor would help to protect millions of other gun owners from the ATF's pistol brace rule who maybe aren't protected right now through other memberships in some of these other orgs. Now, again, I will say I've been very critical of the NRA because I don't think they do anywhere near the amount of fighting that they should as one of the largest organizations, and it's been a big issue. And oftentimes, I think they are actually a hindrance to the cause. But I guess in this specific case, it's better late than never for the NRA. And the NRA is also helping to fund the FRAC lawsuit. So I don't want to glaze over that. They are also helping to fund the FRAC lawsuit that is seeking a similar injunction in North Dakota. And the NRA is not a party or a plaintiff to that case, but they are helping to fund that case. What's interesting about the FRAC lawsuit is they are also representing 25 states, and 25 states are plaintiffs in that case. So they're going to try to get injunctions that protect all of their residents. Now, whether or not that will happen is yet to be seen because GOA and Texas joined their own lawsuit, and Texas got an injunction in that case, but they did not get an injunction that protected all residents within their borders. It only protected the agencies, employees of the state of Texas, so it wasn't as broad-reaching as to protect all residents. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the FRAC and 25 state lawsuit. I will say in some ways, my feeling about this move by the NRA is almost like that one kid you're forced to do a group project with in school. We all know who that one kid is. It's the guy who essentially does nothing during the entire project or during the entire assignment, and then all of a sudden pops up at the end and takes all the credit for the work. So that's kind of what this feels like to me. However, in the legal world, that's really not that unheard of. For example, when FPC got an injunction from the federal court there, just District Court Judge Reed O'Connor in the Vanderstock lawsuit, they got an injunction for one of the company's tactical machining, and it was an injunction protecting the company and its customers. Then after the fact, you had multiple other companies like Blackhawk Manufacturing, 80% Arms, Defense Distributed, and others, who then also filed a motion to intervene. And then they filed for the injunction to be expanded in their favor to protect their customers as well and their companies. So we've seen this play out before in similar cases that dealt with the ATF's frames and receivers rule. And this is just simply playing out in a similar way just with the pistol brace rule. And the NRA getting protection for all of its members would be huge, because they are, again, the largest org. They're representing that they have 4 million members. I think people would agree that they're probably one of the largest organizations. They likely have the largest membership. An injunction in their favor would protect millions of other gun owners who maybe are not currently protected by some other orgs and being a member of those orgs. I personally know hundreds of gun owners, a lot of people who are members of the NRA, but are not members of any of these other orgs, maybe don't even know that some of these other orgs exist. So the NRA getting the injunction expanded to protect their members would be significant. Now, even if the NRA gets a similar injunction that SAF did, that injunction is only in place pending the Fifth Circuit's hearing, that expedited hearing in the mock case. That expedited hearing will take place on Thursday, June 29th at 10 a.m. That is important because there will be oral arguments in the Fifth Circuit on whether the District Court Judge Reed O'Connor was wrong in originally denying FBC's request for an injunction in the mock lawsuit. This also means that the Fifth Circuit review of this case is not necessarily a review on the merits of the entire case, but instead a review of whether or not the lower court was correct in denying that injunction. The Fifth Circuit will decide whether or not Judge Reed O'Connor abused his discretion when denying that injunction. And I do have to mention that to show a judge abused his discretion is a very hard standard to meet. So even if the NRA gets the SAF injunction expanded to cover them and their members, it will also only be in place for that limited period. But again, I think this is really important because outside of the 25 states and their residents getting coverage by an injunction in the FRAC lawsuit, the NRA getting an injunction for its members would likely be the largest protection and the largest injunction that we've seen as of date. So that is where the pistol brace issue currently stands. We have multiple injunctions protecting multiple organizations and their members, FBC, GOA, and SAF. And now you have the largest 2A organization, the NRA, seeking the same protections for their organization and their members. But as always, if you like this video and you'd like to support the channel, one of the best ways to do that is to like, comment, subscribe. All those things help to fuel the algorithm, and it signals to YouTube that you guys see value in these videos and in this type of 2A news. As always, I appreciate everybody who likes, comments, subscribes, who hits the notification bell, who shares these videos. You all are directly impacting these videos, impacting this channel, and helping me to reach and educate more people than I could ever do on my own. So as always, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And never forget, this nation was built by armed scholars, and this nation will be maintained by armed scholars.